What up, football fans? Week 4 is upon us. We've had 3 weeks of some bad football. Um, More so for some of your teams out there than some of ours, for sure. Um, we did an NFC one already. Let's go look at the AFC, see what's going on. I'm just gonna go out and start with the Denver Broncos, 0-3. Uh, the Let's Ride. Sean Payton comes in. They get Russell Wilson to stop kissing babies and changes momentum, and I don't know what's going on with this team.
Me neither. You have talent. You're supposed to have had the best coach prospect this offseason, and then you pay Russell Wilson a buttload of money.
I listen. I think ironically, the one person who isn't to blame for this, and if anybody wants to disagree, feel free. I think it is Russell Wilson because he's not playing horribly. Like
I
Russell Wilson
agree
we
with
saw
that.
last year was atrocious. This Russell Wilson, not bad. 65% completion percentage is not what I would expect out of a contract player like that. Um, but I mean, he's been sacked 10 times this year.
The problem is Russell Wilson is not a Sean Payton quarterback.
True.
Like he's the
It's true.
complete opposite of what Drew Brees was.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And then their defense is dog shit.
Atrocious, which is
That might be the
crazy.
worst defense in my opinion. From the well, let's see, they gave up 70, but shit happens. So but you gave up 35 to Sam Howell. No, your defense sucks. Uh,
Yeah.
that has a lot to do with it, I think.
Yeah.
It it is tough to. I mean, you got to match 70 points.
No,
That's
like
tough.
it's defense, and then I think it's a lot of offensive line too. Like, not only is that offensive line not helping Russ not get hit, but they're not running the ball effectively either.
But
If
you
I'm not
just spent
mistaken,
money on that.
right, but they're still ranked 20th in the league, and you just spent money on it. Either you got bamboozled, or something's not right with your coaching.
They sold them boys lemons.
Yeah, they sold them oranges and said make lemonade.
Because
I heard a rumor that they were tanking for Caleb Williams.
I don't know if Denver's where Caleb want to go. He'll forego if he
Uh,
gets picked by
that, that
Denver.
that might be a good spot for him.
I don't know if it would be.
I mean, it could be worse. You could end up in Chicago.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Yeah,
go watch the NFC
yeah.
video on that.
Staying in that division, the LA Chargers. Um, I will forever say this. This is the LA Clippers of the NFL. Injuries galore. Um, as of right now, I mean, you lost Mike Williams for the season. Um, Herbert is not playing bad from the eye test.
It's
This is
the
the best
same.
Herbert's ever played.
It's the defense on that team. I think that I don't want to say every because there's some good players on that defense, but there's a lot of players on that defense who are overrated. I'm starting to believe that Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack ain't as good as advertised.
I think Khalil Mack's past his prime. And I think Joey Bosa is a
For sure.
one man crew who can't get it done by himself. I think Joey Bosa's talented as hell,
No, he's talented for sure,
but I
but
don't
I
think he
don't
can do it by
believe him.
himself.
My question to you is this: is Joey Bosa a Nick Bosa, or
No.
is he more of a number two? Like it would he? You know what I'm saying? Like, would you be a better complimentary or the better? Could you be the best pass rusher on the team?
He'd be the a better second pass rusher on the team than he would be a first.
Both show. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too.
Yeah, like I said, I think the only positive from this is that the offense finally looks like it knows what it's doing. I mean, Herbert's throwing for like 313 yards a game, passer rating of like 113, and he hasn't thrown a pick yet this season, which is
Even with Eckler out and Josh Kelly doing nothing, they're still putting up points. It's
nothing.
easy. It's like that's what they're made to do. They're like, I'm fucking sick of Buffalo scoring on us. I'm sick of Kansas City scoring on us. We're gonna come out there and try to score with you. And their defense kind of sucks for it.
Defense got to get a couple stops, and they just can't seem to do it.
Did it against the Vikings though, won in the game.
Yeah, that's the only win they got so far this season. I don't think they're contenders in this division though.
No, I do.
They're the second
I
best team.
I'll tell you this: they're a playoff team.
Yeah, probably as a wild card for sure.
Yeah, but sometimes just a team like that just has to get there.
True.
They scare the dog shit out of you.
I mean, we're gonna see how Austin Eckler's injury is.
Hey, let me ask you this: who do you consider more of a contender, the Chargers or the Bills?
The Bills. The Bills.
See, I thought it was the Bills, but then sometimes I think it's the Chargers.
No, I think it's the Bills for the reason that you said. Like, their defense actually works. No, I mean, hear me out, right? Like the Chargers, we've said it. Their defense is atrocious. Their pass rusher passes prime. I'm not sure if Von Miller ever had or will have a prime. Not that he's done anything to impact the season, but that dude is going to come back and be effective in that defense, and I trust that defense more than I do the Chargers.
Well, yeah, because they still got Rousseau, they got Matt Milano, they're like the Packers in the sense like they have star power on their defense.
Correct.
But it has to play, it has to perform for them to do good. And then plus, like the Bills' issue is they never lose on defense as bad as it's been. They lose. Josh Allen fucks it up for them.
Josh Allen sells. That's
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
My point is I believe that the Chargers are a contender. I consider them a heavy hitter in the NFL.
I could see him as a wild card team. I don't see him making it past the first round. They play tough teams, they lose. That's kind of how it goes.
So we all have the Raiders dropping down lower than them.
They suck.
I don't know what's going on with the. Actually, I do know what's going on with the Raiders. They're just not that good. But
No.
like they have Pirates' riches of talent at the top, and then it significantly drops down from there.
That, and then I don't think that Josh McDaniels is good enough to coach that team.
I think I've known that for the past 12 years. Yet people keep giving him a goddamn chance.
No, he's a good coordinator.
Yeah, great coordinator. Not a head coach though.
You need for him to be your coach. You need somebody with more star power than Jimmy Garoppolo. I feel like.
We get Brian Hoyer this week 4, so.
Then I would play the O'Connell kid. Hoyer is one of the worst quarterbacks ever.
I mean, I don't know that team there. Even with Garoppolo, even with the healthy team, my biggest gripe with that team is they put their receivers in danger with those balls.
That's what I was about to say. The benefit to the team like this is they realize the error of their ways immediately, and it becomes a fire sale around the trade deadline. So Devontae's going to make a team better. Myers will make a team, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a team you go searching for somebody for.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
Max
Josh
Crosby.
Jacobs.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers, somebody.
I
was going to say, and also consider the history. Darren Waller, Khalil Mack. They ship your ass off if they can get something for you.
You're in Vegas now. You might as well. Speaking of the big lights, New York Jets are supposed to be Super Bowl contenders. We all know what happened. Aaron Rodgers. They're so tied in for last with the Patriots in their division, but I mean, it seems like the Dolphins are going to run away with first because that's probably the best offense in football right now. Out of those three, though, I guess Bills, Patriots, Jets. Is there a way for the Jets to make it into a competition with them?
Not with Zach Wilson at quarterback.
Not with Zach Wilson at quarterback.
Here's the thing. I genuinely think that if the Jets had Aaron Rodgers, they would be 3-0 right now. I have no problem believing that. I mean, I think they would have beaten Dallas because it's Aaron Rodgers versus Dallas.
Right.
I think
they beat who they beat
England.
week 1? New England.
No, they beat Buffalo week 1, which that was the surprise that got like.
That's what I'm saying. They beat them without him, so we know they would have beat them.
Right. I think they beat Dallas. I think they beat New England. They might have beaten the Chiefs this weekend. That's up for debate. I mean, we'll see how that defense plays against Patrick Mahomes. But they're going to be tired, honestly. Like, if you watch the first quarter of this weekend's game, and it's close, that makes me believe that the Jets would have been able to be in that game with Aaron Rodgers, because I'm assuming what's going to happen is that the Jets will go continuously 3 and out. The defense will be tired by the end of the first quarter, maybe the end of the first half, and then that's when the game will start to become a blowout.
Which is why I don't understand why they're not trying to run the ball better.
Well, it's and honestly, according to every report that I've seen, it's because Robert Saleh has some kind of weird quarterback loyalism to Zach Wilson. He
Okay,
truly
well you're
believes
setting
that
him. You're
he
out there
can.
setting him, making him look stupid because he can't play quarterback.
Hey, that's our quarterback, right?
Yeah, guess what? If a motherfucking kid stutters, you don't ask him to read out loud. You know what I mean?
His players came out and talked. They were pissed. They're like, quit coming to the media and saying that's our guy. That's our guy. Like every damn interview, Silas out there like, we're sticking with
That's our
our
guy.
guy. That's our guy.
Like fuck, I'm in the belief that Zach Wilson might not make it past the second quarter this weekend.
Who they play?
They play Kansas City.
Oh, Kansas City's defense is not great, but it's pretty good.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's good, but but it could be beat.
It's good enough to stop
Well, yeah,
Zach Wilson.
Detroit beat it. It can definitely be beat, but it's good.
Going to a team that is definitely underachieving, the Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals, they're 1-2. Started off very shaky and slow, due to injuries. Joe Burrow got that.
I think that's 100% the reason right there. Joe Burrow's right calf. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people downplayed that prior to the season. Honestly, me included, because I thought Joe Burrow would be fine, but he's just not for some reason. Like
the only thing that I've taken away from the Bengals struggling is that it's Joe Burrow's calf and Samaje Perine is not Joe Mixon is not as good as people think.
I've been saying that for 3 years. Thank you, Joe. Also, let's not act like they weren't a field goal away from tying up against the Ravens week 2 and possibly winning and being 2-1. Like, is there a reason to panic a little bit? Sure. But that division is still 2-1 at the top, and they're 1-2. They're one game back. They got Tennessee this weekend, which
their D line is something sick though. I love watching that D line.
That D line is something sick against the run. Weird.
Shit. Who they play? Tampa. Ask Tampa if it's just the run they can stop. They was on Baker's ass.
I'm saying that defense is nasty, and when I say that they're good against the run, people need to start goddamn listening.
Yeah. Looking at the division, though, I mean, you brought it up, Calvin. 2-1 is the top. It's the Steelers right now. We already know their problems of the running back, quarterback, everything. Pretty much every team, though, in this division has injuries. Ravens have like 3 wide receivers out this week. The Browns just lost Nick Chubb for the season. Deshaun Watson's probably going to play injured. So, I guess, do we see it still as a three-way race of Ravens, Browns, Bengals? I mean, no offense to you Steelers, but
I think it depends on who gets the healthiest the fastest. Hey, that Cleveland Browns defense is fucking good.
Now, I know I'm not going to get any brownie points from you guys from saying this, but I got asked this question by a buddy of mine. He said, is Deshaun Watson good, bad, ass, or worse than Zach Wilson? And I said, he's good. Now, hear me out. He is not fucking playing good this year right now. I'm not saying that at all. But what he looks like is a quarterback who has the mindset to play at a high level, who took 3 years off and quite literally did nothing football related during those 3 years to stay relevant in that matter. His body just doesn't look.
Too many words is like he used to be good, but now he's dog shit.
No, I still think he could be good. Like I'm saying right now, and like I said, he's not playing good, not at all. But like the throws just look short.
They're not good. They're not.
No, I'm not saying they're good. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying they just look short. Like if you go back and watch Cleveland against Pittsburgh, all those throws they were just short, and then there were some times where he hit Amari that were dimes. Like it just looks like his body is trying to become a football player again. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying that he has the potential to be a top 10 quarterback, but his body is not there because he took 3 years off and didn't try to stay in shape during that time.
Because he was our quarterback, I know this Joker, right? I get you. He's not as in shape as he was before. He's not as crisp as he was, but I know he can get there. It's his mental. Like you had to have been guilty of a lot of the shit that you were accused of, right? Like that has to fucking play with your head some. Like, but I don't think he's as sharp as he was before.
Okay, let's say let's say for shits and giggles, right? That's one scenario. Let's say the other side of the coin, right? Let's say he's a completely innocent guy, right? I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying let's see the other side of the coin, right? Let's
All
say
right.
he's a completely innocent guy, and he has 60 women who are just trying to chase a bag come out and say, that dude fucking touched me in ways I wasn't okay with,
Mm-hmm.
right?
60.
That fucks with your mental too.
Yeah.
60.
Especially if you're a good dude. Not saying Deshaun Watson is. I don't fucking
Yeah.
know. Don't know if he would have done it. Don't know if he did. Don't know if he didn't. But if he didn't, that fucks with your mental too.
Yeah.
Either way, the whole thing's mentally fucking.
The
Honestly.
thing with me with the mental part, and I think y'all both have a good argument on each side, but going back to him being a Texan, and it was a big that last year when him and JJ were there, it was a big mashup of everybody putting blame on everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Come full circle, JJ's back in Houston this week, and you kind of see like once certain people got removed from that Texans, it kind of was like, oh, we were just kind of just all saying the same shit. Like, yeah, this place sucks, but it was to get people removed from that place.
Yeah.
The only one that still seems to hate it is Deshaun, and it's like it's a hate relationship with us here and him. But the thing I want to get to with him is there was a lot of games where I just felt he gave up. Mentally, he gave up on the games, and mentally, he made mistakes that I'm like, what are you doing out there? Because, and that last game where he ran down and ended up throwing the ball and getting fumbled and all that, those are shit I saw here. And I was like, I don't care if you're in shape or not. Those are the same plays that I've witnessed before in this place. And I was like, I remember those plays.
And now you're pushing referees and shit, all grumpy.
I think, I mean, I do say this. Last year was, everybody said, give it time. You know, he just came back. I think this year for sure, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you're hoping that he's everything you wish for because you paid him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I do say I will give him the benefit of the doubt for the season to see how he does.
My point was their defense can keep them in contention for that division unless Baltimore or Cincinnati go on a scoring tear.
It could happen.
I was going to say, whichever of those defenses score points first is going to win this division.
So let me give you two quarterbacks quick, which is basic numbers, and you tell me which one you'd rather have as the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have 64% completion percentage, 670 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 88% or 88 is the quarterback rating? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather have 65% completion percentage for 730 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an 85% quarterback rating? Both of them have 2 interceptions.
So the second one was like 385 from 88 on QBR, but he was up like 100 yards on total yards.
Call it 50 yards. 50 more yards, 1 less touchdown, and a slightly higher completion percentage.
2 picks for both. The second one had how many touchdowns?
3.
And the first one had how many?
4.
I'm going to go with quarterback 1.
Okay. Quarterback 1 is Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Quarterback 2 is Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Which, since we're on the AFC topic, we'll get to him in a second, I'm assuming. But, people are saying Deshaun's playing bad, and I'm not disputing that, but he's not playing Justin Fields or Zach Wilson bad.
No, but
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I know, but there's people out there that are saying it, and I think they need to realize that this team in Cleveland can compete as long as Deshaun doesn't lose you games.
But that's why I'm hesitant to go by quarterback. He's still top 15 quarterback in the league. Like, at his worst, he's top 20 at the very least. But you got paid. You got receivers now. Like, your defense is probably top 3 in the league, maybe top 3 or to 5. You should be doing better.
I agree.
Especially when that division is up for grabs right now, you should grab that bitch and not let it go.
Yeah,
Plus, Trevor Lawrence ran across that monster-ass team called the Texans, and they didn't know what to do, boy.
Speaking of, we're getting into it. Speaking of a quarterback that's struggling, and great segue, Calvin, because they both are playing the same way they're both playing bad with too many weapons on offense. Trevor Lawrence's team is 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
The hype was Calvin Ridley, of course, is over there. This team's going to dominate this division. You're tied for last with the Texans and the Titans. The Colts are 2-1 right now with Gardner Minshew at QB um, for now.
I
The
think the problem with Trevor Lawrence is he's too dependent on the system. Like right now, your running game is shit, and you're not doing anything to pull yourself out of it because Houston shut your run game down, and you were too scared to go out there and chunk that hoe. So
Yeah. Dude, honestly, like I look at the numbers for Jacksonville, and I'm like, what is going wrong? Obviously, they got blown out last week by the Texans. Prior to that, they just couldn't score a touchdown against Kansas City, and then they handled business week 1 against Indianapolis. Like I think this, like people are gonna say there's something wrong with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this is just 3 bad weeks of football as a whole team.
yeah, because
They
you can't
have
run the
talent.
ball, and your secondary is dog shit.
Yeah, I think there's holes on the team for sure, but this is still a playoff team. I have no
For
doubts
sure.
about that. No doubts.
They'll
about
still compete for the division. They should at
100%.
least.
They should.
Yeah, I think for sure they is. Tennessee Titans. A lot of people had them competing with Jacksonville after signing DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, those people smoke crack.
They are the Carolina Panthers of the AFC. It's like you have the most basic bullshit offense imaginable. Like you probably have 2 pages of plays on Madden.
All right, so let me ask you a question, Zach. You be the GM of the Titans, all right? I'm
Mhm.
calling you right now, and I'm the GM of the New York Jets. What do you want for Ryan Tannehill?
Any O lineman that is on a rookie contract that you're willing to give up, who's got playing time.
What about what pick wise? What are you looking for?
Pick wise for Tannehill, I'm gonna ask you for a second, see if you'll
Okay.
bite on it. But I
Green
know
Bay's
it's
got
not
a
hard.
second. I'll give you a third.
Done. Come on.
Exactly. Like honestly, that's where I'm at with the Titans. Blow it up.
I get a second round pick and I get off of his deal. Come on, let's do this.
You get a third.
And then I'll play the other dumbass, Will Levis.
Yeah, mayonnaise drinker.
Yeah.
We haven't forgot Caleb. Anyways,
True. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins signed with them, said that he was going to a team that could win a Super Bowl, a defense that was a contender defense, and everything. It just feels like if you still thought that this team was one of the top cream of the crops of AFC South or of the AFC, let me just put it that way, then you were just tripping really hard in the NFL because
I'm with Calvin. Blow this shit up at the end of the year, but that means everybody goes. I have a
Yeah.
quarterback, Will Levis, to try to build around, so you're ahead of the game. I'm firing Vrabel. I'm getting rid of everybody. I'm trading Derrick Henry at the trade deadline this year. Shit. I get me a third round pick for him.
you got Tajee Spears behind him. You got a young running back.
Yo,
Tajay Spears has outsnapped Derrick Henry in every game so far this season. It's ready. They're ready to move on.
I don't know if they're ready to move on. They may be fooling us and just waiting to see how they are in 5 weeks and then increase his workload like it typically is.
I mean, if that's the case, then I mean, if they want to keep running with the 24th or 23rd best running offense in the league and have the 30 best passing, and then try to fool us at the end and get into the wild card spot, be my guest.
Well, I think they were banking on the fact that they would be at least in contention for the division, like midway
sure
through.
they were.
Because they know if they would have came out swinging with Derrick Henry like they always do, they never would have made it to week fucking 10. They never do. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. It's not working though, so start throwing Derrick Henry or get the fuck out of the way.
I mean,
There's some teams that'll take him.
Colts and Texans probably have the best, as of right now, 2 young quarterbacks in the league from the draft. I mean, we'll see what happens with Bryce when he comes back from injury. But these two are poised with 2 quarterbacks, different plays for sure. And it looks
That's
like they're
the point.
competing for this division.
There should be no expectations for either team because of how young their quarterbacks are, but they're both going to annoy the shit out of everybody for different reasons. It's like people are like, I don't want to chase AR around here all damn day. And then Houston's just kind of building in the right direction as a real football team.
Especially if CJ can refrain from turning the ball over.
He has so far.
Three
But realistically, I mean, we know he's going to throw picks at some. That shit's going to happen.
Oh,
But also, it's the fucking way you learn anyway. So, like, don't get butthurt when it happens.
I'd rather him throw picks now and still look good and then kind of refine it when we're trying to win a Super Bowl versus the other way around.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's veterans right now that have thrown a lot of picks already. And I'm all right with that. It's going to happen, though.
I can tell you this about the Texans, though. You're one season away from probably being the best defense in football.
I mean, when you got D'Amico, it's kind of hard to disagree.
And the motherfucking Terminator, son. Oh, my bad.
Out of the AFC, is it still Kansas City or is it the Dolphins?
It's hard to pick either. Like Kansas City, the Dolphins. I mean, Buffalo is a contender. Cincinnati, Baltimore, the Chargers,
Cleveland.
Their defense is good enough. I would say if they had Nick Chubb for sure, but I don't know if Kareem Hunt's gonna fill that void.
We'll have to see.
I mean, it seems like, barring injury, of course, we'll see down the line who runs the AFC. It kind of feels good. I mean, I get it. Miami 3-0. They've dominated, probably put like 1,000 points on teams so far. But it still seems wide open a bit, though. Still seems like there's anybody's game going into week 4. We'll be doing a lot more of these, figuring out the problems for your team, for our team, for all of them. That being said, like, subscribe to the network down below. Comment any questions you have. You don't agree with us because you're probably a Broncos fan or something. That's fine. Tennessee fans, you can complain also too. It's all good. That being said, though, you can catch us for all fantasy, IDP, parlays, anything football related. We got you covered right here. We out of here, people. Y'all be safe. Good luck to your team. Be ready for Toy Story in the morning. Later.
Peace.
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.